All right, let's pull back the curtain on a piece of technology that's, well, it's kind of the unsung hero of the software world. It's quietly powering just about every app and website you use every single day.
I mean, have you ever really thought about it? When you log into a website, how does that login system actually talk to the database with all the user info? Or when you buy something online, how does the store connect securely to your bank? There's this invisible layer making all that happen seamlessly, and we are about to dig into what it is.
Okay, so the best way to wrap your head around this hidden layer is to picture a super efficient receptionist. You know, the kind sitting at the front desk of a huge, bustling company. This receptionist is the key to making everything run smoothly.
So let's really lean into this idea, because if you can understand the job of our software receptionist, you'll totally get the core of what middleware is all about.
So here it is, the official definition. Middleware is that software layer that acts as an intermediary. It's the bridge that lets all these different applications talk to each other. Just like a receptionist connects you to the right department without you having to know the entire company directory. And check this out. The receptionist's main jobs map perfectly to middleware's functions. It routes requests, it checks your credentials like an ID badge, it passes messages back and forth, and it even manages complex appointments or transactions. It really is the ultimate connector.
But you might be wondering, why do we even need this receptionist? Can't all the different parts of an app just talk to each other directly? Well, let's take a look at what that world would be like.
Yeah, the difference is it's night and day. With middleware, everything is organized, it's secure. Without it, pure chaos. Imagine every single piece of software needing to know the specific language of every other piece. It would be a tangled, brittle mess that would just completely fall apart the second you tried to change one little thing.
Okay, we get it. It's important. But what does middleware actually do? You know, on a moment-to-moment basis. How does our receptionist handle a typical visitor, or, in our case, a data request?
So when a request comes in, it enters what's called a chain of middleware functions. Think of it like a visitor having to stop at the security gate, then the front desk. Each function does one specific job, like checking credentials or logging the visit. And then it calls next to pass control down the line. This keeps happening until the request gets where it's going, and then a response is sent all the way back.
Now, this might still feel a little abstract, so let's bring it right down to earth. Let's look at one of the most popular web development frameworks out there, where middleware isn't just some feature, it's the entire philosophy.
We're talking about Express.js. If you've ever worked with Node.js, you definitely know this one. Its entire design is built around this exact idea of creating chains of middleware functions to handle requests. It's pretty much the perfect case study for us.
So let's look at a really common example, an authentication receptionist. The idea here is simple. This piece of middleware is a gatekeeper. Its one and only job is to check if a user is on the approved list before they're allowed to go any further into the website. Let's just quickly break this down. First, it peeks into the request to see if there's a user logged in. If there is, fantastic. It calls next, which is basically our receptionist saying, yep, you're on the list, go right ahead. But if there's no user, it stops everything dead in its tracks and sends back a 401 unauthorized error. Access denied. It's simple, it's powerful, and you can reuse it everywhere.
And Express gives developers a whole toolkit full of these receptionists. You've got middleware that applies to the entire app, like a main security desk. You can have router-level middleware for specific departments. There are special ones just for handling errors, built-in ones for common stuff, and a huge world of third-party middleware you can just plug in. This whole approach makes Express incredibly flexible and powerful.
And you know, this whole receptionist idea goes way beyond just web development. In huge enterprise systems, you find these highly specialized types of middleware. Transaction monitors are like a super strict bank manager, making sure a complex transfer either works perfectly or not at all. Message queues are like an internal mailroom, letting systems send messages to each other even if they aren't online at the same time. And the Enterprise Service Bus, the ESB, that's like the central command switchboard for an entire corporation's software.
And all of this brings us right back to our main point. For all the incredible, critical work that it does, middleware really is the unsung hero. You never actually see it, but you would feel its absence immediately.
You know, a great way to sum it all up comes from our source material. Middleware is what abstracts away complexities, facilitates seamless communication, and provides crucial services. It's that invisible foundation that lets developers build all the amazing apps we rely on every day.
So, that leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. As we move into a world with billions of IoT devices and powerful AI systems that all need to talk to each other securely and efficiently, the job of our software receptionist is only going to get more complex and more critical. What new skills will it need to manage a world where literally everything is connected?